Hello, and welcome to another Crack-a-Pack. Today, I am back with 3 new play boosters from Bloomburrow. And like we've been doing the past couple weeks, let's open these up and make 6 draft picks together. For this pack, we will be doing a pack 1, pick 1. This pack will be our pack 1, pick 1 and pick 2. And then this pack, we'll be doing a pack 1, pick 1 all the way through to a pack 1, pick 3. Let's get started. First up, we have Pileated Provisioner. Daggerfang Duo. Pearl of Wisdom. Bumbleflowers Share Pot. Steampath Charger. Pollywallop. Bellowing Crier. Long River Lurker. Galewind Moose. Jolly Gerbils. The rare is Balin the Haymaker. Red, green, white for a 4/3. Legendary creature. Rabbit Warrior. Tap 2 untapped tokens you control. Add 1 mana of any color. Tap 3 untapped tokens you control. Draw a card. Tap 4 untapped tokens you control. Put 3/1/1 counters on Balin the Haymaker. It gains trample until end of turn. We've got a second rare. Paw Patch Recruit. Green for a 2/1. Creature. Rabbit Warrior with Offspring 2 and Trample. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. A Plains Oh wow. And a foil mythic. Helga, Skittish Seer. Green, white, blue. For a 1/3. Legendary creature. Frog Druid. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card, gain 1 life, and put a +1/+1 counter on Helga Skittish Seer. Tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is Helga Skittish Seer's power. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana costs. And an iridescent Vine Lasher token. Okay, so we've got 3 rares to look at here. Notably all in green. And I feel like whoever we pass to is going to be wondering what in the world we took from this pack having passed 2 rares. But all we can really do here is take the best card in the pack and just be aware that we are passing a lot of green. And in our subsequent picks, of course, we need to just take the best card for us in the pack, but perhaps trying to cut green might be a strategy that we could consider, especially knowing what we're passing. Any green that we pass is probably not going to make it around the table a second time. So just something to be aware of. Looking at our options in the rares, we can see right away that 2 of them are 3 colors, which kind of makes me want to go for the mono green one right away, because it would be much less demanding on our mana. But of course we'll need to actually consider what they do. So Balin is going to be a 3 mana 4/3, which I really like. But then the rest of their abilities are all going to depend on us having tokens in play, which for the rabbit deck I hope wouldn't be too difficult with all of the rabbit and food tokens. But that really narrows us down to one particular deck that we would probably have to force. And it's not a guarantee that we would have enough tokens in play at any given time to do these abilities when we would need to. So I don't know that I'm totally sold on Balin. Paw Patch Recruit is 2 power for 1 mana, which is awesome. And then for an additional 2 mana, we get a 1/1 in addition to that. So not a bad deal, really. Again, this would definitely benefit from being in the rabbit deck with a lot of cheap creatures and creature tokens. But it could go in any green deck, really. So I like that it's a bit more versatile than Balin here. And then Helga is a 3 mana 1/3, which is not quite as good stats-wise. But you really get rewarded for playing creatures that are 4 or more mana. Getting to draw a card is huge. And then Helga will get a +1/+1 counter, which in turn helps you cast your creatures later. So I think Helga is definitely good, but is going to benefit most from having expensive creatures in your deck. and I think I would just err on the side here of having something more efficient. Of these rares, I think the Paw Patch Recruit is going to leave us the most open, so that would be my pick here. I am of course curious to know what you would be taking in this situation. But for now I will lock in my pick and we'll move on to the next pack. Nocturnal Hunger. Mind Spiral. Thistledown Players. Might of the Meek. Tree Guard Duo. Head of the Homestead. War Squeak. Sinister Monolith. Flame Cache Gecko. Seedglaive Mentor. The rare is Thundertrap Trainer. 1 blue for a 1/2 Otter Wizard with offspring 4. When this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Alright, and we've got another mythic frog. We have Glarb, Calamity's Augur. Black, green, blue, for a 2/4. Legendary Frog Wizard Noble with Death Touch. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library. And tap to surveil 2. A forest. A foil Thoughtstalker Warlock. And a Coruscation Mage. So let's take a look at the 2 rares from this pack. I think I would immediately be pulling forward Glarb. we have to remember that this drafter has no idea what is transpiring in the seat to their left. So they don't know anything about the abundance of green rares that have already gone in that direction. But yeah, I think Glarb is a great card, despite it being another 3-color rare. This one I think is definitely worth it. As a 2/4 with Death Touch, it can withstand a lot of the attackers in this format. And with its tapped ability, I really see this as a card that just wants to sit back and defend anyway. Otherwise, it is just here, allowing you to look ahead in your library. You can groom the top of your library with the Surveil ability and make sure you're drawing the cards that you want to. You can try and clear lands from the top of your library to make sure you're always drawing something relevant. But yeah, I don't know that I would even be looking much further than Glarb here. I would probably glance at everything else in the pack, but I think I would be pretty solid just taking this. So I will lock this in as the pack 1 pick 1 from this pack. For the pack 1 pick 2, to follow up the Paw Patch Recruit, I would be a little alarmed seeing the head of the homestead in here, knowing that we just passed a Balin, and this is the exact kind of card that deck is going to want. I think it would actually be a pretty decent pick for our deck as well, knowing that Paw Patch Recruit wants to spread around a lot of these +1/+1 counters. But I do want to also take a look at what else is in the pack. I don't necessarily want to spend picks managing other people's decks if there is a better option for our own deck in here. So I'm not really seeing a ton that I'm really interested in. Nocturnal Hunger is something that I would maybe be looking at, but I don't really know that it's something that I would want to deviate from green for quite yet. So having looked at the pack, I think I would be okay taking Head of the Homestead. We do also have Seedglade Mentor, which would be a 2-color commitment away from green. But I think I would probably be okay locking in Head of the Homestead here. So I'll do that. And let's move along to our final pack. Dazzling Denial. Intrepid Rabbit. Dire Sight. Druid of the Spade. Bumbleflowers Share Pot. Agate Salt. Heaped Harvest. Playful Shove. Bloomcreed Escort. Rockface Village. Short Bow. Three Tree City is the rare. It is a legendary land. And as it enters, we choose a creature type. We can tap to add colorless, or pay 2 and tap, choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. An island. A foil Rockface Village. And a treasure token. So we've only got one rare in this pack. But I don't know that I'm really interested in taking this for a limited deck. Even though this format is kind of geared towards building those creature type decks, it might be difficult to get enough mana off of this reliably for it to be worth it. And I do see that we have one of the best commons in the entire set here. I would probably be more interested in taking this than Three Tree City. This card with its offspring can lead to some really explosive combat. And I'm just a really big fan of it, so I think I would be good taking this as the pack one pick one here. And then for our pack one, pick 2 to go with Glarb. I would probably be pulling forward most of the Sultai cards. And I think Dire Sight and Bloomcreed Escort would be my top contenders here. The Bloomcreed Escort could essentially serve as a protection spell for one of our creatures. And I know Glarb is one that we would really want to be able to protect. So that one is certainly attractive. And I see Dire Sight as something that just goes along the lines of things we would want to be able to do in a deck with Glarb. But I think I would take Bloomcreed Escort here. Even just as a 2-mana 2/1 flyer, I still think it's pretty good. I wouldn't want to go too much into blue, but knowing that we already have blue pips in our deck anyway, it's not too much of a stretch. So I think I would take Bloomcreed Escort here. And then for the pack 1 pick 3, to go with the Paw Patch Recruit. The Druid of the Spade is really standing out to me here. This card becomes quite formidable if you've got tokens. And between the Offspring and the Head of the Homestead, we are pretty well on our way to having some tokens in this deck. So I think Druid of the Spade probably looks like our best option here. So I will take that as the pack 1 pick 3. There we have it. So here's the beginning of 3 different draft decks. I thought these were all very interesting decisions to have to make, and I hope you did too. But before we close out, let's open up the promo pack and give away the arena code. So we are on to the Thunder Junction foil promo pack now. Another round. Make your own luck. And a Terror of the Peaks. And here is the arena code. If you are the first person to redeem it, make sure you leave a comment and let us all know what you got. And good luck. There we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today for some more draft picks from Bloomburrow. I am curious to know what you would have taken from each of these packs, and whether we're aligned, or if you would have gone in a different direction. And we are now well into Duskmorn preview season. I'm getting super excited for that set. I would love to know what you're looking forward to. Let me know of any cards that you think look particularly interesting, and I'd be happy to discuss with you down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll be back with new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope you have a wonderful day.